Welcome to the DorkLair collecting live stream. It is, what is it? February 7th, 2024.
Can you believe it? Already
it
a
is
month
a Wednesday.
into the new year. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday, so I'm going to have to remind myself that tomorrow's not Friday.
I'm going to remind myself to take the garbage cans outside when we get finished here.
There you go.
Garbage
yeah,
night.
so my wife's got some stuff going on tomorrow night, and so I can't really be downstairs. I got to be upstairs with my kiddo and the dog and stuff. So we decided to go tonight. I know Jeremy Gerard is usually going live on his Mythic conversations at this time, but he is off for a couple of weeks because he's got a super busy schedule going on. So this, I felt like, was the perfect night to do it.
That's awesome. That works out well.
Yeah. And the timing's kind of cool too, because I just got the Poxxus wave in hand. This is a review that I just did. So this is the Genie Calazier. This figure is freaking amazing. They did such a good job on it. Let me just put the light up here.
I saw the picture you put up on it earlier. It looks better here than it did in the promo shots, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you can turn it around, you can see more, and like the little details, like the forehead and that kind of stuff, is really, really impressive.
Yeah, it is nice. I mean, the cloth goods, super sweet figure, and it actually has ball jointed hips.
Oh wow!
Believe it or not, which is interesting because this is the first, aside from the ogre scales, the ogre scale figures, they switched over to ball hips. But I assumed this would be the same exact construction as the 1.0 figures. So it's pretty neat to see ball jointed hips. It doesn't add a ton of range. It just makes things, I think, a little bit smoother over there. But this Calazier, and I've only opened the one figure so far. I have all of them. I got my all in today. I have all of them. But like, because it showed up today, I got home at 3:00 after work. I pulled the figure right out, started playing with him for a half hour, and then just got right to the review. Basically just published it like 2 hours ago, dinner time, and then this. So it was a very busy day.
Mad rush when you got home.
But yeah, I wanted to get a review up because it's always, this was the first day anybody even started posting them, even in like the Cabal. Like this was the first day I think anybody got their all in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And those two figures, the two brute scale figures, the big orc Tharnog and then Calazier the Djinn, those two figures did not ship with the other like piecemeal ones earlier. So today was really the first day that these brute scale figures have been in hand, and it's the first day that anybody's had any brute scale mythic figures. I mean, we've had the Cosmic Legions Canox, and we've had the upper torso on the Centaur, but yeah. Anyway, how about you, Larry, for recent pickups?
Oh, well, recent pickups. I picked up a airplane ticket and went to Nashville last week. We had our national meeting in Nashville, and it's funny. Whenever I go on these trips, I always try to bring something back for Steph. And Steph, who hates country music maybe more than anything in this world. So what am I going to bring her back from Nashville, right? So that was fun. But yeah, I shipped a pile of loot from Big Bad. I swear the pile of loot is the greatest invention ever. You kind of just let things pile up, and then when you're ready to ship it, $11, and I shipped like 7 or 8 things, and then I've got all this awesome stuff waiting for me when I get home. So it was really cool. But I had in this shipment, I had a couple of McFarlane pieces. I had the Return of Superman, also known as the, oh my God, how many steroids can one Kryptonian take Superman? If you guys have seen the body, you know what I'm talking about. He's a big, beefy dude. But it's a cool sculpt. It comes with crypto, which, again, really cool sculpt. I picked up the George Clooney Batman. And I know the McFarlane figures, they have, they have issues. But one of the things that they're doing better and better is with these likenesses, and I really enjoy that. I picked up 2 Mezco 112 pieces this week. I think I mentioned last time Dr. Doom showed up. I finally got to open him.
Yeah.
Absolutely in love with that figure.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up Wonder Woman, the Zack Snyder Universe Wonder Woman, because I got that 3-pack, the Justice League 3-pack. So I needed a Wonder Woman. I'm going to pick up that. And they didn't do a cyborg, so I'm probably going to have to find some kind of a cyborg to complete that shelf that looks kind of in scale. But that Wonder Woman, man, and it surprises me for such a small figure that there's no double jointed elbows. But for what it is, because I know it came out several years ago, it was the Wonder Woman from the first movie. It's not from the Justice League, but her look was similar enough all the way through that I feel like this is a good representation. Again, it's Mezco. You got me hooked on that years ago with the Batman, and I really enjoyed this. It's an awesome addition. Had a couple of figure arts things in there. Obviously I've not been picking up very much Marvel stuff because I don't really care for what they've been doing lately, but the Star-Lord and Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out, and that Star-Lord sculpt is as good a sculpt as I've seen in a while. It's really, really nice. And then I got the Michael Keaton Batman from The Flash. But I think my favorite thing I picked up, and I'm not a Superman guy, I got the reissue of the Mafex Hush Superman. You and Chris had gone on and on about what a fantastic figure that was.
Mm-hmm.
So when they did the re-release, I pulled the trigger on it, and man, I'm telling you what, Mafex, everything I bought of theirs, they just knock out of the park. It's such a fun brand. Early on in the line, like some of the early Star Wars stuff, a couple of their BVS releases, they had some issues, but man, all of this Hush stuff, the Dark Knight Return stuff, have been great. And this has got to be my favorite Superman that I've ever laid eyes on. From the posability to the sculpt, the wired cape, it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. I like it much more than I expected to. I didn't think I wouldn't like it, but this one really surprised me. So good stuff.
Nice. Did Mafex do a Cyborg? I wonder if they did a movie Cyborg.
I feel like maybe they did, because there was a display that I saw on Instagram, and they had mainly Mezco 112 stuff, but they had a really nice Cyborg in there. And I don't know if it was I'm trying to find out if it was a Mafex or DC Direct. I couldn't even tell, because with Cyborg there's so many panels and pieces that it could be a statue just as easily as it could be an action figure. You wouldn't be able to tell. So I don't know if it's some kind of a DC Direct statue or something like that. So I'm trying to figure that out. But there's the Aquaman from his first movie. That one's floating around for $80 or $90, and I'll pick it up. Oh, one other thing. You know how with the G.I. Joe Classified line, they've had exclusives here, exclusives there.
Yeah.
Amazon had the Cobra Eel for about 5 minutes, and then it sold out. And it's been like $60, $70 everywhere. I don't know if the resellers can't sell them, or if someone found an extra warehouse full of them, but the price has finally come down. And I picked up one on Amazon today for $35. And normally I would not be happy about $35 for a basic classified figure, but in this case I am. I expect it'll probably get like a classic re-release on the card, like we're getting with Duke of Scarlet. I think we'll get that eventually, but I have.
Was that a Target exclusive? What was
Amazon?
That?
It was an Amazon exclusive.
It was Amazon. Okay.
Yeah, and it literally sold out in, I'm exaggerating a little bit, I think it sold out in about 10 or 15 minutes, because I knew when it went up, and I had an appointment with one of my customers, and by the time I got out, it was like 15 or 20 minutes past the release time, and it already sold out. So, and that's been months. So I was really, really stoked to find that.
Nice. The only other things for me, I forget, did I have this last week? So when I got the Gomez Red Eye Knight, I immediately because I mentioned Drew Chase last week, he was in here, but yeah, this finally came in, and it's might be almost as good as the Red Eye Knight. This is an awesome figure.
It looks like a Mork from Orc homage.
Yeah, and when you take this thing off, it actually looks even more like him, because it's got it is definitely vibing on Mork. And then I also something just shipped. So Nerdzoic just shipped my Elkhorn, the D&D dwarf from NECA. So
Okay.
that should be here. That might even be here tomorrow. He's pretty close. He's in the Northeast. And then there was a sale. So this is not toy related. But the company Tashin, who does like very high end art books, they had a sale over the weekend, and their Frazetta art book, which is
Mhm.
supposed to be one of the best, if not the best, and most comprehensive art books, and it's massive. It's like a 15-inch, huge, big book. Um, that was on sale for half price. So instead of
Oh
200, it was
wow.
$100. So that shipped, and that should also be here, I think, tomorrow, which I'm very
Nice.
excited for.
Good stuff. Hey, I meant to ask you, I know that you put it up. I've not had a chance to watch it yet. How did the thing with Dan Larson go? I'm particularly interested because I've been watching his channel for years.
It's great. Like, not to, you know, praise myself here, and it's not praising myself because it was all about him. Like, hit the inner, like he is the easiest guy
He's
to talk
hilarious.
to and interview. I like let the chat. Some of the people in the chat have watched it. Let us know what you thought. I thought it was fantastic, and that's one of the reasons why I put it as the first one. I felt like it
Mhm.
was probably one of the best ones of the 6 that we did. They were all awesome, but like his was really just exceptional in terms of the stuff he has to say, the insights he has for the industry and just all that stuff. He is phenomenal, and he is a great interview. And yeah, so here we go.
Yep, there
Was
you
a
go.
great watch. That chat with Dan was excellent. Great interview. Yeah, I felt like it went really well, and that was my first time really sitting down and talking to him. We've run into each other before, and we chatted a little bit at this past Legions Con, but that was my first time really kind of hanging out with
I
Dan.
discovered him several years ago. I've always loved Robotech, and there's
Yeah,
a really a paucity out there of information and people talking about the lore and where it came from. And he did a 3-part
yeah,
deep dive on Robotech, where it came from, the different iterations. And that's how I discovered him. And anytime he can take things that I care nothing about and make them interesting.
yeah, yep, for sure. Let's see here. Oh, Cloud said I was too nervous to say hi to Dan Larson at Legions Con. I'm very shy when it comes to that. I will like I'm too shy to say hi to just random people I kind of sort of know just from social media. Like I mean I like yeah, I get that, Cloud. Took me a minute to even say hi to me. I mean, we had already been on lives before, right? Hadn't we? Or maybe not. I don't remember. Yeah, Trevor was the first. I remember Trevor had that Frazetta art book. It looks like he picked up the Masters of Fantasy art. That was all. Yeah, I wanted to get both, but self control.
A little bit.
Yeah. Let's see. Blake's in the house. My Storm Collectibles. Shao Kahn will be here soon. Cyber Rat. Let me run through some names here. Stanley's Toy Channel. Jericho Savage. Lego Wiccan. Mayfex is killing me with these reissues. Killing you as in like it's
Can't
all the
say no.
stuff that you can't say no. That kind of killing you.
I was really thankful that they did that because on the secondary market, it was a little, it can be a little daunting sometimes. So it's nice to see those things come back up.
Rob Zamora with the cheeseburgers.
I'm not
Let's
sure
see
what that
here.
means.
I don't know. Maybe Rob knows that I've been watching my diet, and cheeseburgers sound really good right now.
Cheeseburgers always sound good. Um, Shoot, I can't remember. I was getting ready to say something else. I lost it.
Let's see.
But
Oh, Tanya McCoy is in the house. So we got Legions ladies next Thursday, the 15th. And who the heck was going to be on there? Oh, I think it's Curtis and Darla Ackerman are going to be on there. Yeah. And we got, let's see who else we got here. We got Wholesome Warlock. Jordan is in the house. Stephanie. Edgardo. Benny. Joe Gonsalves. Hey, Joe. I'm glad to see you're alive, dude. Joe got in a car wreck. It looked really nasty,
geez.
and I'm glad you came out of that. And I feel bad for you that you got to deal with a wrecked car, but I'm glad you were uninjured, man. Let's see. David Williams, between Toy Tubers, the Calazier review, and this, I feel like I've spent the whole afternoon with Bill. It all kind of. I wish I could control a little more, but like, sometimes things all happen at the same time. Let's see here. Cyber Rat, Game Quest, Philip Ochoa, Cowabunga Dude, Brick Something, and yeah, I think we're back up to the top there. Now back to the bottom with all the new comments. Oh, somebody said they announced something. They announced 6 to 8 reissues in under 2 months.
Yeah.
That's
right. They did. Because usually they do 2 announcements for releases a month, and the last few months there have been way more re-releases than what there were in the past. But I think it's great. There are a couple things that I missed on the Marvel side. If they ever do a re-release of the McFarlane style Venom, I'll pick that up. There are things that I look back in retrospect I wish I'd picked up, but I'm not going to pay secondary market prices for them.
Yeah.
I don't want them that bad.
Speaking of reissues, was it today or yesterday? Joe, come on, dude. You gotta be listen. If you do these super chats or these membership giveaways and you don't make it to Legions Con, I'm telling you,
he's going to send me after.
Save it for the car first, and then Legions Con second. But thank you so much on behalf of the members who received those.
Smoke him if you got him says, I think that Venom is getting reissued. I hope you're right. Because I'll pick him up pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that the Boba Fett was like $45 the other day.
That thing's down to nothing. Yeah. I know what I was going to ask. Someone mentioned Storm Collectibles. So Bill and folks in the chat, you can chime in. So one of the things that I've been doing with my collection is I think I mentioned this. I was trying to get a Hulk Hogan from every era, and I've got most all that filled in. Well, I found out something that I didn't know. Storm Collectibles did some exclusives Hulk Hogan figures several years ago, and most of them are still pretty reasonably priced, if not right at retail. But it's like going from, the WWE figures I have now are kind of like Marvel Legends pricing. It would be like going to a Mathex or something like that. Before I pull the trigger, I'm wondering what everyone, you included, Bill. I've never purchased anything from Storm Collectibles. Good quality. We're talking about Mathex, Figuarts type quality. Is it worth the additional outlay?
They are,
because they look good.
In some ways, better. They're in a league of their own. Honestly, they're just a different kind of thing. They definitely
talking about plastic quality or build
I'm talking
quality?
about plastic quality and smoothness. And so one of the unique things about them is they tend, and now I don't know anything about the Hulk Hogan figures, but they tend to use the torso usually the torso is an overlay piece. It's kind of like a softer piece. We've seen that a little bit with some Marvel, some Black Series stuff, like with the Boba Fett and whatnot. But this is just different. It's just like a different thing. The arms and the legs and stuff generally are, the same kind of big chunky. It kind of almost reminds me a little bit of like if you're thinking of Mafex, like the big chunky ones, like the Dark Knight Return stuff, kind of feels like that, at least in the limbs. But I've always found them to have some of the best quality, the best feeling hand candy kind of figures. I really love them, and they have like a great articulation for like the big figures. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong really with it,
because they
do scale a little bit larger though. So if you want all your Hulk Hogan's the same height,
I'm not worried about them being in scale. I saw them and I was like, wow, these are really good looking figures. And like I said, I've never Storm Collectibles is one of the few companies I've never purchased anything from, so I was curious.
And thank you, Mr. Serve, for the 10 gifted memberships. We're gonna hit 100 memberships because there's now like I think 50 gifted memberships active right now.
Cool.
Because there was 30 last week, thanks to Jordan and also Joe, maybe. Yeah, I know Mayfex. I know, like, Larry's actually pronouncing it properly. I still can't stop saying Mayfex, but I think Mafex or Mafex, one of those is more correct than Mayfex. I just can't stop.
And I don't get too caught up in that. It's more expensive than Legends. How about that?
Yeah. Let's see here. You need the 18-inch
LJN Hulk.
Oh, LJN, yeah.
I have that, Philip. I have in storage where I've got so much stuff. I've got that 15-inch LJN Hulk, if I remember correctly, and I'd have to dig it out. It's got the red shirt. It's got the 85 belt, the one between the circle one and then the one they had rest. It's his belt from WrestleMania 1. And then I also have the LJN figures, the little rubbery ones. I've got the first one, and then they did 2 Hulks later in the line. He's kind of posed like this. And there was one that was yellow trunks and a red top, and one that was red trunks on a white top. And I was looking because Mattel just did a Coliseum collection. It was a 2-pack with Terry Funk that was an homage to that red and white. So yeah, and then I've got the old Hasbro, the figures that one of them did a body slam and one of them did a bear hug or something. So I've got all that stuff in storage. Yeah, so much Hulk Hogan stuff, it's ridiculous.
Benji loves King from Tekken. That's on sale right now. That's a $115 figure. It's on sale for $69 on Big Bad Toy Store right now.
So Marco, let's see if I can. Hey, look, I figured it out.
Nice.
Said which Storm Hulk? They made several. They made made one in blue and white. They made one classic in red and yellow. They made a Hollywood, and then they made a modern in red and yellow with the boa, like from his comeback in 2002. So there are 4 of them that I know of. So I'm just going to go with whichever one is the most economical to start, and then base whatever else I do moving forward on my experience with the lesser in cost.
Yeah, and I got a Storm. So these were on sale on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
I think it was before the new year. It was like the end of December, like that week after Christmas, there's all sorts of sales and stuff. And these were on sale for $40 each. And they came with the, it comes with that mount, the chicken leg mount from the game. So I was like, screw it. I'll grab 3 of these things just to, let me grab my other one. Did I show it on here? Let me see. Hang on. So I took it and I put some HasLab cloth goods on it, and this head is goofy because that's the head to the Death Adder figure. So the head is like really big. But like I got it to do this kind of stuff because you could take this green outfit off, and there's a body under there. His shoulders are really big, but once you do some cloth goods on top, it's pretty neat. These are just very, very fun figures. And they're solid as hell. They're just awesome figures. I love and I love their Golden Axe line. It's like my favorite thing.
Well, that's good to know. I'm gonna definitely dip in and pick one of them up, and I'll report back and let you guys know how I like it.
Let's see a couple more chats and then we'll get into the news here. Oh yeah, I mean it's like every day there's at least 1 or 2 like really solid deals on there. Like today it's that Storm King figure, and then the other day it was this. They had 2 different Mafex Supermans.
Yeah, they had the Eradicator was the other one, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody had said, yeah, this is it. Storm Collectibles Conan would be sweet. Somebody else had mentioned they should.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. And like I think they should do like like the 70s comic, like that version of Conan would be perfect for Storm.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, those dead frames. Yep. Those are fantastic. All those skeletons, all the different Storm skeletons are awesome. Would you say Golden Axe is a great starting off point? Sure. I mean, depends on what's available. Like I probably wouldn't start with like the Bad Brother or whatever, like that big dude. But I mean, yeah, this dwarf, this Gilius is fantastic, and the skeletons, like if you grabbed those dead frames for like $40 or $50, like they've been, that's an awesome start. Uh, the collector won Scapular from the Purple Gang giveaway. That's a massive giveaway right there. And Blake recommends the Mortal Kombat line.
Okay, hang on. I missed this. It says, did LJN make a shirt ripping off? I don't think so. I know that the first one came shirtless, and that second one came with the sculpt. The shirt was sculpted on. So no, I don't believe that they did. I know the one on the 18-inch one was cloth goods, so you could take it off, but I don't think they had the like the way Mattel does them now, where you can. It's got the Velcro up the side, so you can actually show it tearing them. I think that's a recent thing.
All right, so Mythic Legions updates. I guess I already kind of talked about it because the only update really was that the all-ins are shipping for Poxxus. So they had everything except for the brute scale figures, which included Kalazir and the Orc Tharnog. So the two brute scale figures were not in. Everything else had been in, and they were like shipping out any orders that had non all-ins that also didn't have this. So that was happening, and in the midst of that, the all-ins showed up. So they're still in the middle of shipping out that other stuff, those singular orders. And the all-ins came in, and all they have to do with those is literally just slap a label on each box and send it out. That's all they have to do. So they don't even like spend time sorting anything. They just slap a label on and send it back out. So they interrupt whatever they were doing and they send that out. So if you are still waiting on that kind of initial order, give it a couple more days because they're probably going to work through these all-ins, get those cleared out, which I don't think will take more than 2 days or something, but those will all go out, and then it's 1,000. I saw on the box it was like 1,000, so that's like that's something they can handle pretty quickly. And yep, I do have my Kalazir review up. Thank you, Caitlin. That went up this evening, and I appreciate all the people who watched it already. And I also have the Toy Tubers episode 11. Season 2 is underway. I got 6 episodes, and I kicked it off with Dan Larson, so that one's there. And I hope people watch. Like, those videos don't get views. they don't get any views. I mean, they get views, but like, for example, actually, let me take a look here. So the Kalazir video currently has 647 views after 2 hours. Okay, it's got 647 views after 2 hours. The Toy Tubers episode has 687 views after one day and 4 hours. So just so people are aware who really want me to keep doing the Toy Tubers, just know this. People need to watch it because not that many people are watching it. I enjoy doing it. I love it. But there's like this certain amount of motivation that's added to, I love doing reviews. I love doing all different kinds of videos. And so when you add in that motivation of like, oh yeah, people are really watching this. My audience wants this. It makes it a little more easy to motivate to do it. So hopefully people will start, picking up the views on the Toy Tubers. Who else is going to have to do rearrangements for Mythic Legion shelves?
I'm constantly rearranging every time I buy something.
When you drop 10 figures all at once, yeah, that's definitely going to happen.
What would be a good Aladdin figure to pair with the Jinn? I would get the what's the kid's name from Rebels? The one who disappeared.
Oh yeah, Ezra.
I would get the new Black Series Ezra figure, and we call it Aladdin all grown up. That's where I would go.
That would work.
That's where I would go. I can't get over how good those Poxxus figures look. You know, Bill, we had talked about possibly getting back into doing some reviews and such. And I think I'm going to pull the figure on that Arachagor, and maybe we can,
Let's
look at that one.
Yeah,
maybe we look at that one because I was bouncing. It's either going to be that one or as a Hazar. Both of those are just so nice, and they would get. I only buy a little bit of Mythic, but I do have a shelf that's slowly growing, and I really like both of those. So I'll be interested to hear what you think when you unpack them. Looking at one versus the other.
Yep. Either one will be a great choice.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it for Legions. Any kind of Legions news there. Now into the Larry world. We've got the HasLab. What is it? The Omega Prime.
So Omega Prime is from the 2001 Robots in Disguise line. And this was my prediction when we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago. It just made sense because they seem to be pulling things from different times. We had two figures from Victory, with the Victory Saber and with Deathsaurus. And I figured this gives them an opportunity to do two figures from the Robots in Disguise line. And I still have on my Optimus Prime shelf, I still have the 2001 version of these guys. And I think I might be one of three people on Earth whose rubber tires on theirs have not rotted out. So mine are still pretty intact, but the technology they used to combine these things, because they're really heavy pieces, the older ones. So I'm looking forward to getting an update. These are somewhat larger, so I think this is going to be a really fun set. Yeah.
Talk us through. So this is Optimus Prime.
Yeah. So this is Optimus Prime. So for those who don't know, what car Robots in Disguise, it was basically a Japanese line that was originally called Car Robots. And this was Takara and Hasbro coming back to vehicles. They had 3 seasons of Beast Wars and 2 seasons of Beast Machines. And they wanted to get back to its roots, so to speak. So they brought this over and they dubbed it into English. And this was a placeholder while they worked on the Armada trilogy. So this was out in 2001 between the end of Beast Machines and the beginning of Armada. And this had a lot of fun things. These things had been out in Japan for a couple of years. American collectors wanted a lot of these, especially he was called Fire Convoy in Japan. So the fire truck version of Optimus, and because it had so many cool things, Prime combining with his trailer was not a new thing. He had done that with the Power Master, and then Ultra Magnus, of course, was a combiner. But to have this version of those where Optimus Prime could combine, do 2 different things, and then combine with Ultra Magnus to do another, the fans really ate it up. And I'm looking forward to getting it. I think the price point is about right, because just looking at the old version, those old figures would be Commander class today, easily Commander class. So you're looking at $80, $90 a figure. And then when you look at what HasLab does with theirs, there are fewer hollow joints. There's more posability. The plastic is usually a higher quality. And while I feel like Deathsaurus was priced a bit high at, I think it was $180, I feel like $250 for what is essentially 2 figures and a weaponizer that are going to form this gestalt. I think it's a fantastic. Yep, there it is. And on the old figure, that was just a weapons rack. It didn't turn into anything. I feel like it's a good price, and right now it needs 10,000 to back, and it's 4 or 5 days into it, and it's already up to 8,300 backers. So this thing is clearly going to back. It's going to hit its stretch goals. And if you're, like I said, I'm really pulling back from the retail stuff, but a cool HasLab project like this, I'll definitely be picking up.
So the funding is 10K, like you just said, 7.5 ish right now when I checked earlier. And it's got until March 15th. It's got it's got 39 days or whatever left.
Yep.
So tons of time. And you alluded to the stretch goals. So unlock one is this sword, which adds a little height to the display.
Yeah. That's very similar. I'm hoping what happens here. So that's very similar to the sword that came to with the Japanese original release of, I think it was Fortress Maximus. So it's really a repaint they could do with that. Or there's talk that a couple of HasLabs down the road, there's going to be a new HasLab Fortress Maximus that's going to put this old Titans one to shame. So this could be some foreshadowing.
Yeah, and a couple of people were mentioning, like, too bad they didn't do some G1 with this 40th anniversary event. And I like that's kind of where I am. Like, I don't think I'll get this, but I would totally have been down with something this price and this size but like a G1 HasLab. I totally would have bit on that in a second. Like, I don't think even if they did it again today, I don't think I would do what's the one you have? What's the first one they did?
Unicron.
Yeah, I don't think I would have the room for Unicron, but something like this, I think I totally would get in on if it were G1.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I definitely would have preferred G1 for that 40th anniversary. I think that something like a really tricked out, larger scale, either Fort Max or Metroplex, I think would, or the Devastator that some folks were hypothesizing, because the only Devastator we have is from Combiner Wars, and when you put it together, it's a pretty nice piece, but the 6 individuals are kind of lacking, and I would really like to see Takara do something that's more akin to the third-party masterpieces, and I think they could do that within the bounds of a HasLab, and I would have much preferred to have seen that. But we do know that they're doing a Commander Class Optimus Prime this year for the 40th anniversary. It's going to be kind of an ultimate G1 Prime. So maybe that's where their logic lies. I don't know. But if it had been me personally, I agree with you, Bill. I would have done something G1 for this one, and I would have kept this in my pocket for next year.
Yep. And then the second unlock is the stand.
Yep.
It's like not a very exciting, like, top level unlock, but
no, it really isn't. But when you have the figures that are this size, anything that you can use to solidify that display base, I think is always welcome.
Yeah. Continuing with Transformers, we have the YOLO Park Optimus Prime.
Yeah, they call this a model kit, but basically it's just a super awesome, ridiculously posable action figure that you're going to snap the limbs into the torso. It's not like my Flame Toys model kits that take a few hours to put together. This is 30 seconds and you're ready to go. I have a couple of the YOLO Park pieces from the Bumblebee movie, and I can tell you, if you like Transformers and they don't need to transform for you, you want something that's just a ridiculously great representation of what you see in the media. YOLO Park is kind of to the Transformer stuff what, in my experience, Mafex has been to my recent Batman stuff. They can do no wrong. Everything they do is a home run, and this is well worth the $70. And they have a Megatron counterpart, but right now the pre-order that's sold out. I expect that whenever they get in the stock, that's going to go back up, but they're also supposedly going to be doing some more characters in this scale. So if you're into the 3.0 MDLX stuff, this is in that vein, but less stylized. So awesome posability, great quality. I mean, the quality of the plastic is, they've got some die cast in there. It's really, really high quality stuff. YOLO Park's doing great work.
Nice. Yeah, it looks fantastic. And I saw, I think it was Toy Bro had the Megatron, and it just it looked killer. Looked so good.
Yeah. It's good stuff. So I'll definitely be picking that up, and rearranging a shelf
Yeah.
or two.
And then we've got Doc that was revealed. I don't think it's up for order yet.
No, this is just that the visual reveal that they do. It'll probably go for pre-order in a couple of months. But this is another of the let's see, 82, 83, 80. I think he was part of the 84 line. So another one from that second second set of Joes to come out. And obviously, you see here he has some things he didn't have before. I really think all of these things they're doing to modernize the figures are a nice touch. He's got a flare gun. He's got the pack on the chest. And one of the gripes that I had when I was a kid and had Doc, he had this stretcher that was one piece of plastic. And this thing you can fold up. Everything they're doing with this line it makes sense. So I'm pretty excited for this guy. And I think this is a deluxe. I think this is going to be at that $40 price point as opposed to the 25.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something I'm probably going to buy, I think. I love this ship. This is like an EU ship that they brought into the Ahsoka series. So it's got that kind of weird area, like the weird ages of Star Wars, right? Like I think it was Dark Empire, but but it's modernized or whatever. It's like it fits into the live action stuff. And this is the E-wing, and they're gonna be doing this as a timed pre-order, I think, on Pulse, and then it's also gonna be available on Disney, Shop Disney or whatever.
Yep.
But one of the cool things about this, if you remember the show, is the R2 unit that it comes with is like a live action version of the vintage Kenner R2 unit. And I think the name might be I don't remember what the calls, like the droid numbers are for it, but I think it might like be something like Kenner Ken 4R or something like that. But yeah, so this is and it's going to be carded. So this figure will be on a card. But this is a cool piece. Obviously, you won't have the pilot from that scene for it, I don't think, because it was like a generic Rebel pilot, if I remember correctly in the show.
Yep.
I just love the design of this ship, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it. And it's probably going to make me regret also not picking up the N1, because it'll probably be roughly the same size. But
yeah,
very cool ship.
Yeah, that, like you said, it's KE4N4. So yeah, it's very, very, very Kenner, but I love the way that looks. It's kind of like you said, this is the flavor of that time before we started getting the prequels. This is kind of something that's really cool from that in-between period.
Yeah. I just love the silhouette of the ship. I think it's awesome. I know Lego did one. But just seeing it like fully modeled up is really cool. It's just neat. Like I would not have put this on my radar for Vintage Collection to put out. Like
it really surprised me.
Yeah, totally like Viper vibes, right? Like Battlestar Galactica vibes for this.
Sure. Absolutely.
Put that piece in the middle there. I like that design. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. I dig it.
And then continuing with Star Wars, we do have the first Hot Toys Han Solo in a long ass time. And I did pre-order this partly because I had a bunch of Sideshow points expiring soon. Like it had been so long since I'd ordered from Sideshow that I had seen my points starting to expire. So I did order this. I think it looks pretty good. Not perfect. Like there's definitely some issues, like I guess in certain lighting. Like I've seen some pictures, like there's one shot, like this shot I think looks awesome. Like this looks really good, And I love I do love this version of Han because you do get the kind of quasi, New Hope look. You get like Han's like core outfit, right? But you also get the Endor look too. But yeah, this is a pretty cool one. I hope they do mess the hair up a little bit. Like I feel like the hair is too like perfect.
That's what I was gonna say. it looks too magic shell. I hope they can do something to rough that up a little bit.
Yeah, and like it's funny because like in the movie, it's like you'll see pictures and sort of like the overall volume of it seems right, but it's too. And this, it's like very dense, and like in the movie, it's light and messy. It's like a
Yeah, I
messy
mean,
volume.
and it's kind of disappointing because Hot Toys gets so many things right consistently, but when you look at the vintage collection version of Han of this and the Black Series, they got the hair right.
Yeah,
And this just, yeah, it's just a little too neatly coiffed.
yeah. I did see some folks take photos of it at the secret base where this prototype is on display, and
Hmm.
under brighter lights where the hair kind of lightens up a little bit, it looks a little lighter. It
Okay.
looks better for sure. Um, but yeah, it needs to be a little more scoundrel. Yeah, I like that. Um, yeah, it's a very clean head.
It is. It is. But that body is awesome. And this was always I really like this because I like the brown shorts or the brown pants rather, which he had in Empire, but I always like the vest better than the long jacket. And then
Yeah,
the trench coat's just so cool because nobody else is wearing it. And Han's supposed to be a gunslinger, and what's more gunslinger than a duster?
yeah.
So this was always my favorite version of Han.
And this is like like the last time they did a Han was like eight. I don't know. It was a long time ago. It was many
In a
years
long
ago.
time.
I'm gonna say something like 8 years ago. So it's like I'm hopping on it because who knows when the next time they're gonna do one is. I know a lot of people think Bespin Han is like inevitable, like soon. But that people have been saying that for 5 years. So
I'm sure they'll get around to it eventually, but I'm not holding my breath.
yeah. And then we have another one where we're sort of like going back and continuing a line that felt kind of dead or whatever, but like the movie realization Tamashii Nations Obi-Wan, which they showed this figure a long time ago and they put the Vader up for pre-order. It may have released already, I'm not sure, but now we finally have the Obi-Wan. This being the first time they've done an unmasked head sculpt, an actor likeness essentially, right? I think this is the first
Yeah.
time for that. Figure looks awesome. I'm a huge fan of this line. And as soon as this is available from the US retailers, I'll be pre-ordering this. Probably from like Entertainment Earth.
That's a really good looking figure. While I didn't care for the series itself, it's given us some great figures. My figure arts Obi-Wan and Vader are my favorite versions of those characters. And this movie realization line, they always do such a good job with characters. And this Obi-Wan looks fantastic. And I'm sure you've seen the thing with the big hat, kind of the Raiden hat. Yeah, there it
Yep.
is. Yeah, I love that. It's so like they got it so right.
Yeah. Yep. Really cool figure. It even comes with the little toy skyhopper
Yeah.
that he gives Luke. We find out retroactively that came from Obi-Wan. But yeah, very cool. And there's that Vader. There's a shot of him with that Vader right there.
Yeah.
And then there's this piece, the display base that
That's
has
really
the
cool.
rocks. Yeah.
I like that.
So pretty sweet. We'll see. I thought it was supposed to go up today. I haven't seen anything about it being up on like the Japanese sites, the import sites. But I'm sure it'll also be available. I hope it'll also be available on like the U.S. sites as well, like they have been for the recent ones.
Yeah. Related to this, adjacent to this, one of the third party companies that makes Transformers is doing a line in this style. They've got a samurai Shockwave and a samurai Minosaur with samurai versions of the Stunticons. So yeah,
Oh, nice.
their Tamashii Nations here they're influencing other lines. So it's cool
Yeah,
to
yeah,
see other folks doing that.
yeah. That's neat. Somebody said Darth Maul. Darth Maul has a demon head.
Yeah.
It's not the actor likeness. It's like a demon head, and then it's got a mask on top. Obi-Wan will be my first of these. Nice.
Yeah, I'm giving very serious consideration to buying this and the Vader just because they look so cool together.
These figures I love these figures so much, and they're just not making. I mean, it's probably a good thing because I'm so heavy into other stuff that it's just like, yeah, here's one once in a while. Like I didn't pick up I didn't pick up the Book of Boba Fett because I have Boba Fett, I have Mando, I have I have Django. Like I felt like I didn't really need another Boba
Yeah.
at that point. If
What's
I
the
see a
scale?
deal, I'll get it. But
What's the scale on these? How tall are they?
they're close to 7 inches.
Okay.
So they scale a little high. They're not going to be in scale with figure arts, that's for sure.
Oh no, I knew that they were a little bit larger. I just wasn't sure how much.
Yeah, these to me they kind of are like they fit right in with Mythic Legions scale wise. And I tend to mix them into my Legions shelves.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like how I talked about. I'm kind of to the point now where I don't have to collect them all, so I can pick and choose. And this is definitely a place where I would pick and choose a little bit.
That Kylo Ren is awesome, and like I said, I don't have that Boba Fett, but I love that Kylo. And then Mando is Rick Jones' favorite with the Grogu top knot. It's cute, yeah. The little push cart. It's really cool. I have both. I do have both of the Mando figures, so I shouldn't be saying I'm not like up for owning more than one of something, but anyway.
I don't think any of us would ever say that.
And then on to 3-0. So this is a Mega Man figure that is a 4-inch figure. So this could be a small figure. But it does have die cast joints and stuff, like a lot of their figures. And I don't know the price on it yet. It's going to be going up for order on their site this Saturday at noon, I believe. Noon, I forget what time. I think it might be noon Eastern time this Saturday. Oh, Rob Zamora. Sorry, the super chat went up and then I didn't even think about it. What do you guys think of the new Notada Lion? I'm not sure. I'm gonna look it up. Is it?
Oh, actually, I'm looking at it right now. I think it's pretty badass, is what I think. Wow, that's cool looking.
The Lion, new and popular.
I just did a Google image search.
Okay, let me.
Nada 1/12. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty awesome looking.
Notada Lion.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it.
It says NOTTAA Cyan Lion. CYAN Lion.
Okay, yeah. I've seen this. Cyan. Hang on.
Dude, that's ridiculous. That's awesome. That is badass.
Oh, that's not right. Let's see if I can find a big one of this. Instagram. Let's just go there. So let me share this. Share screen. And then add that. So this is it here.
Yeah. Love the bloody mouth. That's so cool.
Okay.
All right. This could replace the Carnivus on the Masters of the Universe shelf. This is what he should have been. This is cool. This is really cool.
Yeah, that's wild. I think I saw this. I don't know if I'm assuming this is just like a pre-order or something, but I feel like I saw a picture of this, and I thought it was a custom. That is sick. That is a really cool.
Yeah,
cool
that
lion.
really is.
Not a collection. Lion Ridge Cyan Lion, standard or bloody version. Nice.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet. And it is
105.
$80.
Well, okay. I'm looking on a site here, and it says $20 down. It says full price 105, $4.99.
What site is that?
Giant Toy, GIANTOY. I can't find it very many places.
Yeah. Cool.
I've never heard of this company before. That's some good looking stuff.
I've heard of Nada, but like I don't think I have any other stuff.
Yeah, I haven't. That's a first for me. Man, that's impressive.
Anyway, thanks for the $2 super chat, Rob. I almost glossed right over it. I
Yeah,
apologize. Did I miss
Rob,
any
thanks for
others?
giving me something else to think about buying.
All right, so we do have the Mega Man figure, and this looks awesome. I'm not like today like some huge Mega Man fan, but I did love the hell out of this game when I was a kid, and I do love me some 3-0, especially when it comes to Iron Man. So I might pick this up. We'll see.
The thing is, if this is successful, they've got all the other characters where basically it's an accessory change and a head change and a recolor, and they're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, there is. I know it's not direct competition because it's a much different price point and it might even be a different size, but there is the Jada Toys Mega Man line for those who don't want to drop bigger money. I don't know how much this is going to be. I don't think they've announced a price yet. My guess is between 50 and 70 because they've done some 4-inch figures before in the like $50-$60 range. And yeah, I think it's going to be maybe 60 or $60 is my. If I have to predict, I'm going to say 60, but we'll see. Comes with the energy can, swap out face, an energy blast, a couple different hands, and then there's an exclusive version that's like hyper limited. I guess it's going to be at various shows, but the first show it's going to be available at is a show in Japan, and it's going to be limited to 50 pieces.
Oh goodness, yeah.
So
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Yeah, the 3-0 they incorporate diecast. I know this one it's not going to be as diecast as the Iron Man figures. The Iron Man figures are like at
Like,
least 75% diecast. But like I think this might be closer to those MDLX Transformers where it's like
yeah.
diecast joints and plastic outer shell type stuff. I think it might be like that. VC Toys box is a good site if you decide to order the Nada. Yeah.
Okay.
I have ordered from VC Toys box. In fact, I believe that's where I got my Kylab cloth goods. Whenever I order Kylab, I get it from there. Although I also have been lucky enough that Kai has sent me some things too as gifts. So yeah, and the exclusive one has this pixelated head over here. So it's not like there's anything crazy awesome about the exclusive one. It's just this like pixelated head. It's just kind of like a neat gimmick to have. And they also put up another Iron Man figure. This is the Mark 85. Is that right? The 85, I believe.
Yes. Yep.
From
From
Endgame.
Infinity Endgame. Yep.
From Endgame. This is the nanotech suit with all the crazy accessories, the blades, the cannons, all that stuff.
Yeah, this is the one Figure Arts did like 4 different releases of, so we could get all of the different accessories.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, that's a good looking it's a good looking figure. Probably weigh 3 pounds like the rest of them with all that metal in it.
yeah. I mean, they are weighty figures. I tend to skew more towards the geometrical, like mechanical looking ones. So once we get into the Mark 50, 85, like I think even the 46 kind of has a little bit of an organic. I haven't picked up any of those yet, like the sort of more organic looking ones.
Mm-hmm.
But of all the organic looking ones, this is my favorite one, mostly because I really like the tones. I love the color tones on this. It's a cool figure.
It's a really good one.
And it's also like when you think about what it comes with for the same 100 that you get with the other figures, I feel like this one's a little more loaded than typical. The Mark 6 is Cyber Rat's favorite suit. I'm a Mark 7 guy. I love the Mark 7. That's my fave. It's like a tank.
I think the Mark 7 is probably my favorite. I was trying to think back through all of them. That's one thing that Figure Arts did a good job with. I mean, we got so many of those boys and so many
Yeah.
versions. But yeah.
Jada Toy should do Smash Brothers. Yes. That would be fantastic. There's like cross branding there though, right? Isn't there like, or are they all Nintendo brand characters? I can't remember if they introduced,
I'm not sure.
but yeah, Smash Brothers would be really cool. Um, the DLX Hulkbuster with the suit that fits in it is my favorite three. Yeah,
What's the
hard.
scale of that? How big is that? Is that like 12 inches?
What's that? The
That
Hulkbuster?
DLX Hulkbuster, yeah. Is it like the same scale as the
Yeah,
DLX Optimus Prime, like the 12-inch?
it's I mean, it's scaled to these. These are roughly a little bit. They're about 7-inch figures, so
So
it's
they're a little bit
scaled to
bigger than
match
Figure
with
Arts.
this. I'm
Okay.
looking at it right now. I'd say yeah, it's probably about 12 inches tall.
Because I've been looking for a regular Hulkbuster to put on my Figure Art shelf. I've
Oh,
got the
this would fit.
second version. I've got the second version. I've been given some consideration because the Hulkbuster from 3.0 on the secondary market is much cheaper than the Figure Arts one.
This yeah, and they keep reissuing. I think they've reissued it a couple times. This
Yeah.
this would absolutely look perfect with your figure arts. It's an awesome one, you know. And like once you get into that little bit like you know, a figure 6 inch in front of this thing or a figure 7 inch in front of this thing.
Really
It's gonna
doesn't
look
matter.
sick either way. Yeah, it's gonna look awesome.
I'm just scared it'll send me down the rabbit hole of getting the rest of these Iron Man releases.
um, yeah. All right. I think that'll do it. I mean, did I have any other starred ones? Nope. I think we're good.
Oh, and back to what you had said, MyFX has done two cyborgs. They
Okay.
did number 63 and number 180. So maybe I will pick up one of those for that display. I know that's off topic, but anyway.
Yeah. They reissued it very recently again.
Yeah.
The Hulkbuster there.
Yeah.
Making what's MHA? Jada making MHA figures would be awesome. King, what's MHA? Some video game that I'm not aware of.
My Hero Academy.
Oh, okay. My Hero, yeah, Academia.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My Hero Academia. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go.
I know we get roasted for that. My bad.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that story, but all of the figures look really cool.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. Like I don't like I've heard of it. I don't even if somebody put a My Hero Academia image in front of me, if it didn't say that, I don't know that I would recognize what it is.
Yeah, I think there aren't there a couple of companies making figures for them. It seems like there are a couple different styles out there.
Yeah. Um by the way, I'm watching a really good show on Netflix, animated, called Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Huh.
And it's fantastic. It's like it kind of reminds me of like a cross between like a samurai movie and Deadwood, but animated.
Oh wow.
Like I feel it feels like one of those HBO shows. It kind of feels like an HBO show to me. Like that's kind of like my take on it. It's crazy violent, crazy graphic, but the story's fantastic. The characters are awesome. There's a crazy journey, and I'm on the second to last episode. So yeah, that was recommended to me from folks in live streams when we were on live streams. People in the chats were like, "You gotta watch Blue Eyed Samurai," and yeah, so enjoying it. Yeah, everybody's saying it's awesome. Yeah,
Have
and I
you
think it was Brick. I think it was Brick something. I was talking about how I had watched the Revolution show, and then I knew that the production company that had done, at least they had done Revelations, they did the Castlevania series, and I was
yeah.
like, I think I'm gonna watch that next. And then Brick was like, dude, watch watch Blue Eyed Samurai next, and that's what I did instead.
By the way, I just finished the first episode of Revolution, and I didn't throw anything at the wall. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. I do.
So far, see, here's the thing. Even the quibbles that I had with Revolution, Revelation. This is Revolution. That was Revelation.
Yeah.
Um, it's just so beautiful. Like I can turn off my brain and ignore the absence of He-Man and just absolutely love the visuals. And that, oh man, I understand what they're doing. They're pushing the story forward because for 40 years we've been in that same 5 or 10 year time period. So I get what they're doing. But man, I would love to see this animation studio tackle some, present day He-Man without pushing it in the future. But it's a beautiful series, man. It's so good to look at.
I love the animation style.
It's gorgeous.
As much as I love Blue Eye Samurai, I actually really, really like these current Masters of the Universe animation style even more. But the story on Blue Eye Samurai is just so damn good.
I'll have to check that out.
It's like a long, every episode is like 50 plus minutes, and there's 8, so it's like a nice, chunky, substantial show. And Nick is asking, is Deadwood good? Deadwood is probably my all-time favorite.
You're talking about the Western, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Love
when
that.
It comes to
the movie a couple of years ago, I had to go back and rewatch the series because it had been 10 years or longer.
Yeah. So like Deadwood to me is one of the best shows ever. Like I'll always love Star Trek more than probably any other TV show, but Deadwood and Rome to me are some of the best television shows ever. Like I love those period pieces. They are awesome. The dialogue is absolutely exquisite. It's such a good show.
If you enjoyed Deadwood, did you or are you watching Yellowstone?
No, but it's on my list of things I want to watch.
If you like Deadwood, so Yellowstone's great, but that's set present day. There are 2 prequel series, like 1923 and 1870, something like that. There are 2 prequel series in the 1800s and early 1900s. If you like Deadwood, go watch those.
Nice.
Definitely.
It's legendary for sure. Watch The Raid. We got some recommendations in here.
Yeah.
The Raid, and somebody else said Primal. Yeah, that's another one I think I want to watch at some point is Primal. That looks good.
And if you just want to watch a fun beat 'em up in the vein of John Wick, just with fewer guns, we just finished the 2nd season of Reacher, and that was a lot of fun too.
Nice. Black Sails.
Ray Donovan was fantastic. Somebody said Ray Donovan. That was really good.
Okay. What's Ray Donovan about?
Ray Donovan is a guy who it's a kind of a family story. His dad was kind of a ne'er-do-well that got out of prison. He's a fixer. His brother owns a boxing gym, and it's all this kind of stuff that happens with that lifestyle. And his dad's always trying to do another hustle. John Voight plays the dad. What's the guy's name that plays? Someone help me out. Who plays Ray Donovan? Crap, I can't remember. Who plays Ray Donovan? Liv Shriver. So Liv Shriver. Okay. Oh yeah. So he's great. And John Voight, dude, you could just put John Voight. Cast. Yeah, he could sit on stage. He's like Christopher Walken. He could sit on stage and read me Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I'd be riveted. So I think just those 2 alone sell the series.
I saw that Christopher Walken is the Emperor in the.
I can't wait. Yeah, for part 2. I saw the first full advertisement for that yesterday, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, people are talking about Reacher. I keep hearing really good things. There's just too much to watch.
There is. Just when you realize that. When you realize who Jack Reacher is and what he's supposed to be from the books, and then you watch this series, and then you realize that they cast Tom Cruise in the 2 movies, you're going to be scratching your head wondering how they made that leap. Because Jack Reacher is literally a gorilla with a brain, and it's fun. It's just a fun show.
Yeah, there's so much out there, can't keep up. One of the nice things about my current like workout situation is that after my workouts, I've been doing a 20-minute bike ride.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been my like little extra TV time to get some extra watching in that I wouldn't normally do. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like sometimes I'll sit on my phone and play Magic the Gathering or whatever. And like this like puts me in a spot where I'm like, all I can really do is just ride the bike for 20 minutes.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna watch Blue Eye Samurai or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of been a cool thing about these workouts is been doing those bike rides after.
That's generally what I do. I'll do my cardio in the morning. So anything that I know Steph is not particularly interested in watching, like the Masters of the Universe stuff, I'll watch that. I'll stream that in the mornings while I do my 30 minutes every day. And that's how I catch up on that stuff.
Cool. All right, we could go down this rabbit hole of just
Forever.
talking TV for endlessly. We got to do a music episode at some point. That was a fun time when we got down the rabbit hole of music
Yeah.
that one time. And yeah, thank you, Blake. Yeah, I mean, I've always exercised, but like I took it to I'm at least I'm 6 weeks in, and it's like it's just a different level. It's like prior to that, it was, like 3 days a week, half-hour workouts. Now it's 5 days a week, and they're 40-minute, 45-minute workouts, and it's absolutely changing how I feel, everything about me. Like
It's awesome.
It's great. Yeah. And I've been
I
able to
love
keep
it.
up with it, so yeah.
And the wonderful thing is, psychologists tell us that once we spend 28 days within establishing a new habit, that it does become a habit. If you can make it past that 28-day mark, sticking to something new in your life becomes because it's become a part of your life. It starts to be hardwired into who and what you are every day. And the fact that you've made it to that 6-week point, man, you're past the worst of it now, where, every year I take about a week off from training at some point. And that first week back, man, everything's sore, everything's hurt. I'm like, man, I understand why people quit this, because if you're not conditioned for it, it hurts and it sucks.
Yeah.
But once you get in that habit and you see how much better you feel all day long. And I mean, for me, even not just physically, but emotionally and cognitively, if morning cardio, man, I come off of that, I am sharp. I'm ready for the day. It's just a wonderful thing for your body.
I wish I had time. I would totally do it in the morning. I wish I could get up early enough. But my wife, that's when my wife does hers.
Yeah.
She gets up at like 4:30 and she does her workouts because she needs to, like, just our whole schedule is crazy because I'm a teacher and I have a shifted schedule. Like I'm a much earlier schedule. So everything is weird. So my opportunity is when I get home about 3 o'clock is when I can do it, 3 to 4.
I had to do that last week when I was in Nashville for our national meeting, because our main tent meeting started at 7:30, and then they had activities planned for us at night. So I was up at 4:30 or 5 every day, in the hotel fitness center getting what I needed in. And man, I'm telling you what, I'm used to getting up at 5:30 or 6, but 4:30 is a different animal, dude. God bless her. God bless her.
Yeah, totally. Only time I do that is when I'm going to Legions Con, which is where Joe will see me next.
Yeah, money for the car.
I'll be jacked by then, Joe.
Nick says, do you do a cutting fat? Yeah, I mean, when I compete, I stay pretty lean year round. I try to stay about 8 or 9% year round body fat, but when I cut, I'll cut down to 4 or 5%. And how do you power through? You just do it. I mean, for me, because I'm 48, I did my first show when I was 18, so I've been doing this for 30 years. And for me, when it comes time to start a diet, it's just flipping a switch for me. Some days you feel like crap. Sometimes there are days, like the last couple of weeks before a contest, I'll be sitting outside a doctor's office going in. I've got an appointment. I'm, talking to a glaucoma doc about something, or sitting in on a procedure, or whatever I may be doing that day. And it feels like a Herculean effort just to get out of the car. But, I remind myself that I am blessed to live in a situation where I have the privilege to make the decision to eat less than I want and to do more physical labor than I have to do. And when you realize that you have the privilege to make that kind of a decision, then it kind of pulls things into focus, so. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's a
appreciate
means
it.
to an end. Yeah. That's like anything you don't want to do. I mean, there are plenty of things, as much as I love my job, there are things about my job that I don't want to do. But buddy, I love it when that paycheck hits every 2 weeks, and I love it when that quarterly bonus drops. So you find a way to do it.
Pretty scale bill. I'm pretty joking about it.
He'll have ball jointed hips too. You just wait.
Yeah, I mean, I know I can get tight, but like doing workouts involves stretching and like mobility. So it definitely like my hips are definitely like a lot more mobile the more I
Yeah,
work out.
folks don't realize that even if you're not doing a comprehensive stretching program, just doing weight bearing exercise through the full range of motion is going to increase your flexibility dramatically. It really will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay, Dorkinator. Last one, Dorkinator. Oh, we should probably mention Arnold making connection here, but Carl Weathers. I mean,
oh man,
what a like out of nowhere kind of thing. Like,
that one hurts. I know the older we get, age becomes a relative thing. And when I was 15, 48 was ancient. So as we get older, but dude, the guy was healthy. The guy looked great. Being his age, it just seems like way too young to go.
Yeah.
Way too young.
Yeah, it makes me sad. I went to my buddy's house on Saturday to play Magic. We did an all day Magic thing. We do it a couple times a year.
Cool.
And we decided to do a Carl Weathers marathon. We watched Predator. We watched Happy Gilmore. We watched Rocky 4. We decided to watch Rocky 4. We for some reason we decided to watch all the ones where he died. But we watched.
It's a little morbid, but okay.
It is a little morbid, but those are the ones we ended up watching. And then we watched Predator again because we had rented it. We were like, Predator's not streaming anywhere, believe it or not. There's nowhere you can stream Predator, which is crazy to me. So we ended up renting Predator, and we decided to watch it a second time. And it had been a long time since I had watched Predator, and God, that movie is.
It holds up.
The best of those 80s movies. It does hold up really well.
It really holds up. I think what helps it out a lot is that there's an absence of context. They're in the jungle. So there's not a lot of things to identify it as taking place in the 80s. Right. Except for the fact that these guys are, Vietnam era veterans, blah, blah, blah. But I think it holds up so well. So very well.
There's not a lot to focus on, like the technology of the time or like the cinematography, like if you were to shoot another movie right now in the forest, like it would basically look the same. Like
there's not a lot you could do different. Yeah.
So it does hold up really well. I'm actually gonna buy it. Honestly, I'm gonna buy the movie because I don't own it, and now I want to. No, we didn't watch Action Jackson. Honestly, nope. No action.
I find myself, even if I'm not watching stuff very often, I find myself randomly picking up physical media because I don't have a whole lot of faith in the whole digital.
Same.
Like what happened with the game, some recent game system I heard about, like some platform stopped supporting whatever it was, and all these people lost everything they'd done with these games, and there's nothing you can do about it. So if there's something that I really, really enjoy, I own the physical media because I'm not taking chances.
Yeah, I asked for a 4K player. I only had the Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
And I asked for a 4K player for I think I got it for my birthday this past year. And I've been adding to my collection. I already have a pretty big physical collection, and I have a lot of CDs and records and stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm just making an effort to do that more and more. Like I'm waiting for Andor. I canceled Disney Plus, although I'm going to start it up again for Bad Batch soon. But I canceled Andor, and I really want that on physical. Like that's what I just want to have.
I do too. I want to put it with. I
have Disney Plus. Like I want that.
Yeah, I want to put it with Rogue One, and like with the MCU. I've obviously I've not purchased anything for Phase 5, but Phase 4 I purchased No Way Home, and I got Guardians of the Galaxy, and and there's just so many things like the Harry Potter series. I'm looking on my wall here, like the Lord of the Rings stuff, the Rocky movies. These are things I don't ever want to not have.
Yeah, totally. The Mando 4K season is badass. Okay. Like where is Andor? Like where's that physical? And where's the Andor the art of Star Wars, like the art of Andor? Like where's that book?
I would
love those
love to
books.
have that book. I would definitely pick that book up. I've not seen them even speak of that. I guess I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame because that would be a really cool one to see.
Yeah, there is the physical space that physical media takes up. But hey, just get a binder. Throw all the boxes away and get a binder.
Exactly. Just like we did with CDs.
Yeah, cars. Totally.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you purchase. You're not purchasing the movie. You're purchasing the right to watch the movie on this platform. And in the small print and all of these things is, and I'm paraphrasing here, it's not legalese. By the way, the day may come when poof, it's gone and there's not a thing you can do about it. So I trust nothing.
Yeah, hopefully this is true. I keep hearing that it's coming, but it still hasn't come yet. But hopefully it's coming soon. All right, that'll do it for today. Let me pull up the brand here in the outro. So yeah, so we'll be back in 2 weeks. Should be back on Thursday. This was a one-time thing. I just got stuff I got going on tomorrow. Be sure to tune into the Legions ladies next week. They will be on next Thursday. I think they're on at 7:30 or 7, and they're gonna have Darla and Curtis Ackerman on there. And yeah, hopefully everybody gets their Poxxus figures in very soon, because those are definitely on the way. It's starting to flood now. It was a little trickle at first, but now people are starting to really get those in hand.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Until next time.
Have a good night, guys.
May the force be with you.